Okay, this is when I start talking about all my conspiracy theories.
Yes. No, we're saving that for segment 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Aloha. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Trish da Dish. Welcome back. We're here for another live and lively version of Mana'o at Home. I'm so proud of this show. This is number 53. How fantastic. Celebrating Maui musicians here in the beautiful island of Maui. We are live from Backlit Buddha Studios. Very exciting community hub for musicians here. You can record, you can rehearse, or you can do live stream shows like this one right here. We're really happy today to have a new special guest that I've never even met. These are some of my favorite shows, is when I get to meet the act as well. And there's gonna be no problem with our talk story. He is funny, captivating, talented, and also has just such an interesting journey when it comes to his sonic ways, and I'm just so happy to have him here in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, a musical force of nature himself. He is keys, strings, winds, and skins, as he says. Ladies and gentlemen, Dayan Kai!
Hey, mahalo. Mahalo nui loa. Pleasure to be here, and thank you for what you guys have been doing. It's really great for our musical community here and our musical community abroad as well.
Oh, thanks so much for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this show started from that little seed of, wow, we're all kind of in the dark during these strange days of Maui's music and beyond. And so it was nice to kind of reach out online.
Yeah, this is one of the good things to come out of our pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm happy not to be using the Zoom anymore and to have sonic wizards like my Cody Quintana and Kevin Garland behind the scenes. It makes it a lot better. We've got the main man today, John Hardgrove. He's on camera right there. And of course, we've got Naor back in the behind the scenes, and I'm just so happy to have my crew here. And of course, mahalo to Chino for his opening little ditty.
I was going to say, our theme music.
It's
yeah.
Right. You got to have the whole package here. I'm trying to do the Tonight Show, but it's the Today Show, but in the middle,
I like it.
The afternoon
It's the afternoon show.
With Trish da Dish. Let's do that. Let's talk, Dan. Let's do a show together.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we have so much to talk about. I want to learn so much about you, but let's first just introduce them to your magnificent musicianship, and let's get this party started.
All right. Well, in addition to being a multi-instrumentalist, I'm also a songwriter and composer. And so here's a song I wrote many, many years back. It's called The Meaning of the Dream, which is something I'm fascinated with, the interpretation of reality, both when we're awake and when we're not awake. And but this song's really about love, so for all the lovers out there. And if you want to play along, we're in the key of B flat. Okay, good. Show me the meaning of the dream, and I'll give to you my sweet song. And in the in-between, I will love you long. We'll watch the changes come, and then the changes turn around to go. And it takes just a little while to know how we feel. When the sun shines, good times with you, woman. And in the moon's light, hold you close to me. Wake me with a kiss and tell me what you see in my eyes. And when I go, I'll reminisce, greeting you with the sun's rise. We'll watch the changes come, and then the changes turn around to go. And it takes just a little while to know how we feel. When the sun shines, good times with you, whoa. And in the moon's light, hold you close to me. Show me the meaning of the dream, I'll give to you my sweet song. In the in-between, I will love you long. We'll watch the changes come, and then the changes turn around to go. And it takes just a little while to know how we Mahalo. Thank you. Thank you. So I wrote that in the hills of Vermont many years ago in a snow thing.
Do you spend a lot of time in New England?
I spend a lot of time touring the U.S. and Canada. I've spent a little time in New England. I've probably spent most of my touring life on the West Coast and kind of the western interior. But yeah, I've done some time in New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Were you able to enjoy the autumn ever?
That's when we go. That's
okay,
when
yes,
we would go.
Course,
yeah, I used to go out there pretty regularly with my good friend Keith Greninger, who's a great Americana singer-songwriter that I've had the pleasure to play with a lot.
You're a great Americana singer-songwriter. Oh,
well,
my
thank
goodness.
You. Thank
as
you.
As soon as I started following you and listening to you, and a lot of people were telling me about your music, I really got into it by just going to your website and just letting the songs play.
Oh, well,
and you are just, I mean, I immediately felt that Bruce Springsteen, Cat Stevens, you know.
Right, sure.
And it was just really hitting me in the face listening to your music, Seeger, and just loving it. But
Thank
very
you.
thoughtful too and powerful. You know, Neil Young comes to mind.
Yeah.
And and like I love delving into your music because it definitely is a bouquet. There's a plethora. Like we were talking yesterday, you aren't a genre, really.
No.
You kind of you know who you sound like? Dayan.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I've really strived to figure out what my sound was and present it to people, and it's been interesting to try to market because it isn't Bob Dylan sounds like Bob Dylan all the time.
Exactly.
And you kind of know what you're going to get roughly. With me, I've had people come and I've had 6-piece bands, and I've had other times where people come and it's just me and a guitar, and so.
Which do you prefer? Do you enjoy just being bare bones like this, or do you like having that
You know,
backing?
I've come to be very comfortable in this kind of a performance situation. A lot less things can go wrong when you're alone.
You feel confident in your dexterity, and then
there is that, but there's also, you know, there's safety in numbers too, and there's times when I'm just, you know, I don't know, nights when you're on the road and you're tired and you go, gosh, I hope I can deliver, you know, and I don't have a crew of folks around me who are also excited about the night and stuff like that. So I think it's a mixed bag. It really is.
Absolutely.
I wish, frankly, I wish that I had a full-time band that I played with all the time. And the reality of that in today's industry is it's difficult to compensate them consistently. Yes. And that's really what it comes down to. So I think if I had my druthers, I'd perform with an ensemble more. Because it gives me more flexibility. It gives me the ability to stand up and walk away from the rhythm section and play my flute or play my saxophone or do things like that. And I do that as a soloist, but I use a loop pedal. There are things that can go wrong with that. The loop pedal is, I always tell people, it's a fantastic, perfect player who never listens. Does exactly what you told it to do, and if you told it to do the wrong thing, you know, that's that. So, you know, there's times when I'll get ready to start the loop for a chorus and go, nope, not going to happen. You know, so I have to be on my toes more, I think, as a solo musician. But it does give me the flexibility to play something I haven't played for 25 years that nobody knows, too.
What are you going to play for us next?
What am I
These
gonna
are
play?
all original tunes, by the way.
These are all original songs.
Beautifully composed and intricately detailed. I'm a writer, and you are a fantastic lyricist.
Well, thank you.
You really are thoughtful and it's nice.
Thank
you.
you.
And really, catchy, but also thoughtful, you know, at the same time.
Well, this is a song, some folks who live in the Lahaina area may remember there was a gentleman there for some time who was houseless, and folks called him the Purple Man, and he used to wear a purple suit, even in the, you know, extreme heat of the day. And one day my kids came up to me and they said, Dad, you know, kids in the neighborhood are saying that Purple Man is really a bad guy. I said, really? And they said, yeah. I said, what does he do? And they said, Dad, he eats children.
Oh, no. And
I got to thinking, like, how am I going to handle this, right? And so I said, come on, guys, he doesn't eat children. And they go, what do you mean? I go, well, don't you think if he was eating kids, like, somebody would have gone missing by now? They were like, yeah, you're right, Dad. And I thought I'd got it licked, you know. I was pretty proud of myself. They came back like 15, 20 minutes later. My kids are thinkers. And they said, well, Dad, what if he only eats the tourists? And so nobody knows, you know. And so anyway, a few weeks later, we actually had the chance to sit down on the park bench and talk to the Purple Man, whose name was Bob, and whose story turned out to be a lot like many stories I'd heard throughout my life talking to people on the streets. He actually came from a very well-to-do family in Southern California and fell on some hard times and kind of got ostracized. And it's easy to become houseless in America. It's unfortunately becoming easier and easier. And so I wrote this song about just our judgment, right? Because we're all guilty of it. I myself included. I've done all kinds of outreach for the houseless. I've raised money for the houseless. I have tons of compassion. But there are times when they've approached us in our car to ask us for money or something, and I'm going, oh man, here we go. You know, right? We all go through these things. So it was a song I wrote just kind of just looking at that judgment that we all kind of have, and I just wanted to encourage a little more compassion for folks, because I have a lot of friends and have had lots of friends throughout my life who from time to time have been houseless, and it's no fun. And so I wrote this song called "Giving My Time Away," because, you know, when the money's all gone, all you got left is your time. And that's kind of what Bob said to me, is kind of like, well, I'm here. You know, what am I supposed to do? I'm an old guy who's just here now. I have nowhere to go. And so, you know, you're just trying to get to your next meal and find a place that's horizontal, that's safe. And so anyway, that's where this song came from. It's an uplifting dance number. Just kidding.
Here I sat upon this old park bench underneath a shady tree. I'm safe here from the burning sun, but not the troubles facing me. train, though there ain't no rails to roam. You might think I'm homeless, but I'm going home. What do you do? Is that all you can think to say? Hey, I'm all out of money, I'm just giving my time away. And them children say such awful things about the deeds that I have done. They don't know I was a daddy once, or how I lost my son. They killed him in that first Bush war, and I still don't know what for. Now he's gone and I'm still standing here. That's just one of life's closed doors. What do you do? Is that all you can think to say? Hey, I'm all out of money, I'm just giving my time away. Sitting on this old seashore, I got the water to my thighs, and them memories come and fill my head, and them tears they fill my eyes. I'm leaving on the old westbound, gonna take me back to where I'm from. Yeah, I'm standing on the cosmic highway, I'm holding out a thumb. What do you do? Is that all you can think to say? Hey, I'm all out of money, I'm just giving my time away. What do you do? Is that all you can think to say? I'm all out of money, I'm just giving my time away. And I'm standing on the cosmic highway, I'm holding out a thumb. Yeah, I'm standing on the cosmic highway. Hallelujah, I'm a bum.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a great song.
Thank
what
you.
a nice ode to the Purple Man.
Yeah.
Was he wearing purple?
He always wore a
Okay,
purple velvet suit, man. It'd be like
Yeah.
95 degrees, and he was fully covered from head to toe. And nobody seems to know what happened to Bob, actually.
I lived in the Kihei for a long time, and we had a purple lady.
Oh, did
We
you?
had a purple van, gypsy, purple lady. And then also, I did an article about a gentleman named Shades.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like a Bob Dylan kind of vibe. He always wore shades and a Boston Red Sox hat. And he
Right.
walked up and down the street with his guitar and Kihei. It's these colorful characters, you know,
Yeah,
and they have
there
these
are.
extraordinary stories.
Yeah,
And
it's true. And
Yeah.
now we drive through Paia every day, and
yes, I live in Paia.
yeah, so we have a couple of different folks there
Yes,
that
you're a
we see.
haiku boy.
I'm a haiku
Born and
boy.
raised here.
Yeah, I was born in Wailuku,
You were
right there.
In
And,
the hospital or
in the
no, just
hospital.
kidding.
Yeah. I was a C-section. The
Your
story they
mama was like, no.
well, the story they tell is that the anesthesiologist was out sailing. It was a Sunday, and they were radioing him, and he was ignoring the radio. He didn't want to come in off the sea. So my mom waited for like 18 hours to have me, I guess. And that's just life on Maui.
Yeah, that's very Maui. Hey, can you hold on?
Yeah.
For just like a day or two.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, my family's from Lahaina originally. My grandmother used to have a dress shop in Lahaina called Apparels of Pauline that some folks may remember.
I love that.
Yeah, and
We need more dress shops.
well, it became a chain. There were 6 stores across the
Mom.
islands at one point, and then and then my mom moved back to the islands in the late 90s to take care of my grandmother, and then I came back around 2004. I came
Nice.
back, yeah.
Well, because you were telling me, we were talking yesterday, so you were born blind, and then
Right.
instead of going to school here, you went to the mainland.
Yeah, Hawaii.
So tell me about that
well,
experience.
the state of Hawaii has a pretty. We're really in the dark ages about a lot of things, particularly disabilities. I could go on and on, but
I bet, yeah.
I'm not allowed to have a parking permit, even though I own a business here in the state of Hawaii. One of those placards for the disabled. Like
Yeah,
if
that
you
doesn't
how
make
if you eat
sense.
too many Ben and Jerry's, you can get a placard. I can't get one. Somehow that's fair. But yeah, so the way they deal with people like me is they send me to Oahu, and I go to the school for the blind where I learn how to be a blind person. And so my folks thought maybe I should actually learn how to assimilate in society instead. And so we went to California, where they let me go to regular public school. We had to fight, but yeah, I went. I had a lot of board meetings with the head of education and a lot of that stuff.
I like your family.
Yeah, we're go-getters.
That is exactly the word I was going to use. Go-getters.
Yeah.
You sure you're like you're Maui, salt of the earth? right?
Definitely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we faced a lot of adversity and tried to do it with a smile. So.
And your father was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's put you on a piano at 2."
So,
2
the
years
story,
old,
so the
sir,
story they
Dayan.
tell is that they were all sitting outside, having a cocktail or whatever it was, and somebody said to somebody, like, wow, that record's been playing for an awfully long time. Is it stuck? What's going on? And they went in, and little 2-year-old Dayan had drug himself up on the piano bench and was banging out the last few chords of the song
Over and over.
over and over.
Oh my goodness.
And it was a little spooky. I think it was kind of like those psycho movies and things like that, where they kind of go,
The poltergeist
yeah,
girl.
the
You're like,
poltergeist
"Hi,
girl.
Mommy."
And so, but I think again, my dad and my mom, they recognized that I was going to have some adversity in my life, and they figured if I got a head start, I'd have a chance. And so, yeah, I started getting piano lessons at 2.5. I went to Head Start school early. Which was interesting because I was the only English speaker. Everyone else spoke Spanish at Head Start when I was a kid. But anyway, so I did that, and then they got me a drum kit.
Did you learn Spanish?
Oh yeah, I'm
multilingual.
I went to all bilingual classes until I was like in junior high. So
Wow.
yeah.
How much knowledge do you have up there, Dayan?
I was hell on Trivial Pursuit. I used to love that game.
Oh, you got to come to my trivia night then.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Paia, you're not too far.
No, I know. I've seen you've had those.
Oh, yes. You
Very
gotta come
cool.
at that. Well, let's hear some more music. I could talk to
Yeah.
you forever. When you come back, we'll talk more about you producing your own albums and traveling everywhere from Italy to Memphis. And
Oh, yeah.
you have such an eclectic tour schedule.
Well, thank you. I love to see new things.
I bet. And I bet you have followings all over as well. Probably gather your fans.
Yeah, we've been very lucky. Folks have been very supportive over the years. And my last big trip abroad was to Australia.
Woohoo!
And that was really,
I bet they loved you.
it was great.
They love a sassy singer-songwriter.
I fit in really well
I was
there.
Say, you may be a little bit of that.
I drank their whiskey and I picked up their accent pretty quick. And
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. We were on the phone, and you had this little tinge of Canadian,
Right.
But then a Nashville vibe almost,
yeah.
And then Maui.
People
Pigeon.
often say to me,
I was
"Where are you
laughing.
from?"
Yeah, where are you from?
and
I was trying to pinpoint it.
I think it's something that just as I was growing up, I've always been fascinated by accents and diphthong, and I was involved in theater. I was did acting, and then I had the Hawaiian and the Spanish influence, right? So I've always just kind of been fascinated with the way people speak English. There's so many different ways to speak English. I mean, I don't know if there's another language that there are that many accents for. Well, I like to ask people before I play this song. I like to say, "How's the pandemic going? Have you been enjoying the pandemic?" And usually people don't respond. They don't know what to say.
Or maybe a sound.
Yeah, but this is a song I wrote in March of 2020, right before I went on Mana'o Radio. It was the last time I went on the radio. And I thought, God, I got to come up with a new tune, you know? And so I wrote this song. I wrote it in about 15 minutes, and I thought, I'll call it the Corona Blues. And then I thought, you idiot, somebody already did that, you know, and you're going to get sued. Like Justin Bieber is going to sue you or somebody, right? And so I Googled it, and I couldn't find the Corona Blues. I found lots of stuff about the color blue and Corona. And so I thought, it's mine. I've done it. So I wrote this song, I would say kind of inspired or in the sort of stylings of Robert Johnson, who's somebody I really looked up to growing up, you know, and learned a lot about the guitar from. And so I hope you enjoy it.
Corona Blue, man, when will you let me be? Corona Blue, man, when will you let me be? I've been all around this island and I can't find no TP. When your chest starts rattling, man, you got to go away. Chest start rattling, ooh, man, you got to go away. Yeah, but the hospital said they got no place for you to stay. Oh, you can't work from home if you're a guitar man. Hey, go online, boy. Do the best you can. Oh, you can't work from home if you wait tables and such. No, you can't do much. Lord, you can't work from home if you're a guitar man. Hey, go online, boy, and do the best you can. Oh, you can't work from home if you wait tables and such. No, you can't do much. Corona Blues, man, it's running all around my brain. Corona Blues, man, it's running all around my head. Got that fever and the cold. to go, man. I've been all around this island and I can't find no teepee. Been all around this island and I can't find no teepee.
So I like to call that the song for the great toilet paper crisis of 2020.
That was so good. That was, you know what's funny? That song is actually going to be a historical song here in like 100 years.
Right.
I'll look back and be like,
what are you talking about?
What is he talking about? What's TP?
What was TP?
Everyone will have a bidet. There
Yeah.
will not be TP in 20 years.
No.
Or 50 years.
No, it'll be all bidets.
That's right. Bidet all day.
That's right.
So, and you were talking about you were spending some time in the Bay Area blues scene.
Yeah.
Your blues, sounds delicious. By the way, I love that. I lived in Chicago for a long time. So
Awesome.
delicious. That Buddy Guy scene.
Love the Buddy Guy scene, man. Yeah,
course.
Chicago's a great town. I started my music career kind of on the Central Coast of California, just because, coming out of school, it seemed like the natural thing to do. And so I did. I played quite a bit around, San Francisco Bay Area, Monterey Bay Area, on down to the land of law and out into the desert, and then started spreading out toward Texas and working my way east. And through the blues scene and because of my interest in the sort of more old school traditional Delta acoustic stuff, I got more deeply immersed in the folk scene. People in the folk festivals started having me come, and then I started doing a mixture of some of my other songs, and kind of just slowly through blues and jazz just sort of kind of spread out into the country and folk and Americana scene.
I'm sure everybody wants to play with you.
That's what happened.
I bet you were like, come on and play with a jam with us.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I created a lot of hootenannies and things like that, and I was doing house concerts before people knew what they were. Before that was a thing. Like before there was houseconcerts.com, I was playing in people's houses instead of trying to get a gig at the local bar. I figured out pretty quickly that it made a lot more sense to go see people, to play for people who actually wanted to hear my music and would feed me.
Yeah.
So,
and the intimacy of hanging out in like a backyard and a barbecue.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Well, you make
that Maui has that vibe.
It does. You make
Yeah.
real connections, and so when we came back home, when I came back here, I started doing the same thing. I started doing house concerts, and it's been really great. People have been really receptive to that sort of private stuff, and so that's why when you asked, did I have a lot of stuff I was promoting here locally? A lot of the things I do are those kind of private events these days. But I will be doing on July 8th the benefit for Mana'o Radio for the big 20-year anniversary, and Jimmy Dillon and I are going to be hosting a blues, rhythm and blues event. We're definitely letting people know it's kind of rhythm and blues. We're gonna mix it up, but
Jimmy Dillon, that's one of your buddies.
Yeah, my dear friend.
And you guys and Pro Arts, much love to them for supporting
much love
you.
to Pro Arts and Lynn and everybody
Lynn
there
and everything they're doing there. How was that run?
It's
I heard there was I got rave reviews.
Well,
from
Jimmy
that
and I
show.
had a wonderful show there, and then I went and did a solo show there that also went really well. And Lynn and I are talking about doing something in the fall. And so we'll be showing back up out there. There's some talk of the possibility of maybe a short series. We'll see.
The thing is, even though I didn't know you necessarily because you were working in different areas, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you were a huge part of Ulalena.
I was.
You were in the Burning Love Elvis show.
I directed the Burnin' Love show.
There you go.
I like to tell people I directed the #1 show in the state for 4
Dayan,
years.
you're a big deal, man.
So,
Stop hiding in haiku.
but yeah, prior to that, I did all the offsite gigs that Ulalena used to do out at McKenna, out before they put the condos in. So I used to do that, and was very closely involved with the Maui Theater, which is how I found out about the Burnin' Love thing, and it was great for me because it was something that most musicians have never heard of, which is it was a steady gig for me, 4 to 5 days a week, and so it was
Not a lot of my musicians know about that, unless it's a luau.
Unless it was a luau. I used to tell people I have a steady gig and it's not a luau.
And you're like, I'm not in the pit of a luau.
Yeah,
and theater, I'm sure you could do theater luau.
I could, yeah. But what was really unique about that opportunity was that they actually were flexible with my tour schedule. And one of the things I told him when I took the gig is like, I might disappear for 2 or 3 weeks here and there.
That's really beautiful to find.
Yeah.
Anyone that works as an artist that has a day job or any kind of other job, to have that flexibility, it's so pertinent to your success.
Yeah. And I have to say, out of all of that whole saga, for me, the saddest part of the whole story is that had we actually been able to keep Ulalena going for another 3.5 months, they would have gotten cultural heritage status, which would have meant
huge money from
the state.
Federal.
And so that really, to me,
miss
was
that show so
heartbreaking.
much.
I do too. And
it was such a staple.
It was a staple of our community, and it really changed a lot of people's lives.
It really did.
Who were really dependent on that for work and also for entertainment.
I have friends that have babies with cast members. Like, it became like this family.
Oh, yeah.
As all these wonderful community. People
Absolutely.
they get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
Nara Boone.
Yeah, Nara
and my friend Anu Yagi and Pana. You know all them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful community. Hopefully, maybe one day we can have something similar to that.
We hope so,
that will come back to perpetuate culture.
Somebody told me that there is talk that they're bringing something back into that theater because the family that owns the theater I actually tried to save the theater after Burnin' Love left, and I had Bing Crosby's nephew interested in investing actually, and they basically told me candidly, we're tired of dealing with entertainers. And I was like, well, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah. You own a theater.
You own a theater. Their main claim to fame is that they're Roberts of Hawaii. They own that. The tour company. So they didn't really.
The buses that clog up Hana Highway.
Yes. So they didn't really need the Maui Theater, is what I learned in the long run. It wasn't like they were dependent on it.
Maybe someday it'll get in the right hand.
Well, I hope so. And I have heard some rumblings about that. And so I always try to stick my neck out and say, hey, what's going on?
Coconut Wireless, I like this.
You need help. You
heard it here first on Manao at Home.
That's
you guys
right.
Don't forget, this is a gig for our talent. If you have Venmo, just go ahead and boop, 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 at Dayan Kai. It's right there on the screen.
Much appreciated if you do. This is actually how I feed my children. So
wonderful.
I don't have a side
hustle. Feed this man's children. He has 3. Dear Lord.
Yeah. It's,
he's been the most honest.
I like to tell people I have figured out where they come from finally.
Okay,
so
wonderful.
I finally
That's
got
great.
that straightened out now. But
we'll come back and we'll talk some more about, you have some exciting news coming up in the next few weeks. But let's hear some more music here from Dayan Kai. You guys, don't forget, if you are just tuning in, you can always view these on our YouTube channel and also on ManaoRadio.com. Click on Manao at Home. Thanks so much for tuning in and supporting. And before I forget, this show would not be possible without the support of small businesses like Venture Physical Therapy and, of course, the Playground Maui live event venue there in Mā'alaea. So, thanks so much for supporting me, guys. This is such a fun show. It's going quickly, though, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
we're only through a few songs. I'm going to stop talking so much. I want to hear you play music because you're just so good.
This is, I also like to tell people when I got my first guitar at the music store, the guy at the music store told me you're supposed to leave these alone up here on the end of the neck. And so the first thing I did was start turning them. And as a pianist, actually, one of the things I always thought was super cool about the guitar was that you could actually put it in different tunings, which is really challenging with a piano. I've tried. Anyway, this is a song I wrote last year. It's I guess my second most recent single. It's going to be coming out on a new album I'm putting out here soon. It's called "Losing Our Way," and it's inspired by the good things in life. Light come down on the mountain. Don't you wanna go? Water sweet from the fountain. Listen to it flow. Losing our way, the game that we're playing with our lives. Loving my sweet woman, spread it all around.
call day and night. What a joyous sound. We're losing our way, the game that we're playing with our lives. Grow food to nourish my body, help the young to grow. There will be peace in the valley. Don't you wanna know? Losing our way, the game that we're playing with our lives. We're losing our way, the game that we're playing with our lives. With our lives. With our lives.
Thank you.
I like that song.
Thank you.
That's very pretty.
Thank you.
Now, you said 91 was your first album, so 20 years ago, over 20 years ago.
Oh my God. Don't
Right?
do that to me.
30. I'm sorry, 30.
What are you trying to do?
Oh my
I like
God.
the 20. No, I was
my
going
God,
with
30.
the 20 years ago.
What happened?
I was working
I
with
lost
that.
a decade.
I've been doing that a lot lately. That was 22.
Sounds like,
no, that was
no, baby
32
girl.
years. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's
So 30 years ago, it's pretty astounding to think that 30 years ago, well, I mean, over 40 years ago you've been playing. You've had I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like with you, do you have an instrument next to the bed or like cuddling next to you? Or maybe do you sometimes fall asleep with your blues heart attached
I
to
do.
you?
There was a long period of time where I slept with my tenor saxophone. And it's not uncommon for like guitars and ukuleles to be lying around. And we have a banjo and a couple guitars in a stand right at the foot of the bed. And yeah, I always said that our house is an instrument case.
Yes.
It's actually what it does. But yeah.
Your kids are grown up now. They're not running around knocking them over.
You know, my kids never. I should knock on something, but my children have never knocked over one of my instruments, which is
wow.
really amazing.
I don't know. Well, maybe not. Maybe you don't know. But
No, my kids are. I'm
Did
very
they follow
strict.
in your path in any way when it came to music?
My youngest daughter Naima is she's 8.5, and she has taken a pretty strong interest in the ukulele and the piano. She's been actually writing some songs.
Wonderful.
And what I can tell you about that is that she wrote a song about 10 months ago, and she told me about a week ago that she wanted to work on it with me, and she sang the whole thing in its entirety exactly as she had 10 months ago. And I was kind of like, wow, she didn't write it down anywhere. So yes, the answer to that is I think one of them is, and
I was
and
gonna
then
say, I see a family band in your future.
and then my stepson, which we can get to that here soon, but my fourth edition, he's a fantastic pianist. He's going to be 23
wow.
tomorrow.
All three of you playing at the same time.
Yeah.
Holidays got to be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we have some good times. Yeah, we do.
I was going to say, when you were playing your guitar, the drums in the room, the snare
Yes.
was vibrating. I don't know if you heard that.
I did. Yep.
What is, I know you love drumming. You're a drummer. Skins, baby.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about percussion.
Well, it's funny because I really do consider myself at heart, like at my core, I'm a percussionist. That's really where I came from. Yeah. And so when I play horns, I often refer to them as my wind drums. And to me the tongue and the teeth and all that stuff, is just part of the percussion instrument. So
I like that
I'm definitely at heart a percussionist, and I've always been fascinated with just percussion from around the world. I studied tabla from India, and I got really into the music of Brazil, the samba music, and learning to play the pandeiro and do a lot of the hand percussion stuff. But that all came from my love of playing drums for jazz and rock and roll.
Yeah. We were talking yesterday. I was loving talking to you about your spitting out Duke Ellington quotes.
People ask me all the time what kind of music I play, and I always say I kind of subscribe to the Duke Ellington philosophy, which is there's our music and their music. Those are the two kinds. I play our music.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So a jazz man at heart, but I would love what you're talking. You're like, at any moment I can do. I've done punk and metal all the way to world.
Oh yeah, I was in a group called Afterbirth on Toast.
Afterbirth on Toast.
Yeah. That was inspired by a story our mothers told us when we were kids about one of their midwives forced one of their friends to eat the placenta.
The placenta.
Right.
Yeah, that's like an urban legend. Is that true?
Well, in this case it was. She put it on toast with ketchup. And so as kids, we just thought that was the most disgusting thing we could think of.
Yeah.
Which it's still right there. AOT
I don't know, maybe in haiku we can probably find some lady that'll be like, yes, I have it in my freezer.
But there were
like
girls
kimchi.
in our high school who were writing AOT on their shoes and stuff. I mean, we had a little thing going for a while, I've done some punk rock, I've done some heavy metal, I've worked in the rap industry a little bit.
What? Dayan,
I've programmed beats and stuff like that. I take exception to some of the misogynist and gangster stuff. I'm not. I won't.
I appreciate
I won't.
that. I can't see you being like that.
I won't work in those aspects of the industry, but I have worked with some really
talented,
really cool
artists.
rappers, really great, thoughtful
wonderful.
hip hop artists, and
that's
I
great.
really I love hip hop. I mean, it's part of my background for sure. When I was a kid, everybody was breakdancing, and I couldn't breakdance, so I played the tracks for everybody.
Oh, nice. Hey, you were mix master Mike.
I was mix master for
That's
sure.
right.
And I
love
DJ'd
it.
all of our school dances, for years.
God,
I did all
Dan,
that stuff.
You're so cool. What are you going to play for us next on this beautiful turnstile of wooden of guitar?
So this is a
ukulele, your kala.
This is my
ukulele.
little This is actually these guys make some really nice instruments, I gotta say. And this is a koa one, and I have a dear friend in the Santa Cruz area who bought one of the mango models and loaned it to me for many, many years. And then one day he called me. He said, "Hey, next time you come, would you bring the mango back?" I said, why?
Man.
He says, well, I've got this koa one, and I just want you to try it, and if you can, take whichever one you want to take. But I was like, man, I got to say, I love the mango. I'll bring it. It's yours. Anyway, I brought the mango. He handed me the koa. I walked away.
You fell in love, and now we've been together ever since.
But this is a song I wrote. I just lost my mom on May 4th from a sudden brain aneurysm.
I'm so sorry.
So a month ago today, I was in the hospital making the choice to disconnect my mom because, anyway, my mom and I took a really cool trip one time up to the hanging bridges at Waihe'e, the river, and we climbed up the river, and while we were going up, everything was super dry, and while we were up there, it rained, and the river filled up with water and started singing, and I thought to myself, the river song loves the rain, and I had this whole thing in my head where I was like, wow, without the rain there's no river song, and the mele and this and that. And so I called up my auntie. I said, I want to learn how to say the river song loves the rain in Hawaiian. And she said, Hawaiians don't say that. Which is what Hawaiians often tell me when I tell them I want to learn how to say something, and we don't say that. So I was like, well, if Hawaiians did say that, how would they say it? And so we came up with some Hawaiian gibberish for this song. And all I can say in my defense is, so far no bradas have pounded me. So I think I get them right. Close enough anyway. But this song is called I Can Make It Rain, and a lot of people maybe who hear it for the first time think it's about rain, but what the song is about magic, and it's about how in parts of the world and places, cultures where people believe in magic, it's very real. There's a festival in Brazil that happens every year in the dry season where the whole town walk out to this big field and it's drought, and it's terrible drought, and and all of a sudden it rains for half an hour and everybody goes home. Happens every year. It's been happening for over 100 years. You can't explain that kind of stuff. I mean, I can't. And so this is a song about that kind of magic. It's about, if you believe it, it's real. It's real for you. So, it's a sing-along song. And I, a lot of times when I'm playing this song for tourists and they're sitting there stoically, I often say, if you don't sing, it doesn't work.
I can make it rain. I can make it rain. And when I go back home, I can make it rain. You say you don't believe. I've got no reason to deceive. And when I go back home, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. I can make it rain. And when I go back home, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. I can make it rain. When I go back home, I can make it rain. If you don't believe the magic, then the magic is gone. But when you believe, then the magic's coming on. When the land's all wrong and I can't hear the song, when I go back home, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. I can make it rain. And when I go back home, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. I can make it rain. When I go back home, I can make it rain. Why meleke aloha, ooh, why meleke aloha, ooh, why meleke aloha, ooh, why meleke aloha, ooh, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. When I go back home, I can make it rain. I can make it rain. I can make it rain. When I go back home, I can make it rain. When we go back home, we can make it rain. When we go back home, we can make it rain. When I go back home, I can make it rain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mahalo. Thank you.
Even the green room, they're going
Even in the-
crazy
that's
over there.
right.
Speaking of the green room, we have a lovely guest here in the studio. Her name is Maya. Maya. And little birdie told me that maybe she's a little special lady. Tell us what's happening here in a few weeks.
Maya and I are going to be, she agreed to marry me.
Woo!
So, yeah,
She agreed to marry me. I love how cute and humble you are. Like, all right, look.
well,
there was a piece, there was an agreement, there's a contract.
It's interesting, you know, Maya and I have known each other since we were 18. And we met in college, and she was my reader for my oceanography class. And Maya and I became fast friends because she was the only girl I knew who would go up on the North Coast with me, take off her clothes, and swim out a mile and hang out in the ocean. And we just became very good friends over many, many years. And we've always really loved each other and cared for one another. And I think when we were young, we both thought, like, that other person is going to go off and do amazing things, and I don't want to hold them back. You know, I don't want to get in the way. And I was married previously, and that kind of came to its end. But so when I say she's agreed to marry me, I mean neither of us were particularly big on the institution of marriage, and to come into a relationship with somebody who's already got 3 kids and a few setbacks. You know, I've got a few setbacks. I'm a lot to take on. So it's a huge honor to me that she has said yes, and that we're going to go through life together. And it's really cool for our community because so many of our community have known us for so many years.
Aww.
It's just this really beautiful thing.
They're like, yes, this
Finally.
makes sense. Finally, yes.
Guys.
You said you were marrying your best friend. That
I'm marrying my best friend. And it's like, how lucky can I be? You know,
Gosh, I'm all verklempt over here.
It's perfect. So,
well, congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you. I know what I feel bad. She's planning a wedding. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna need this man for a few hours right before you leave. So thank you so much.
And it's been
for
crazy.
letting me
right as we're
out of the
planning our
house.
wedding, my mom died. I've had some medical stuff happen.
Oh,
all kinds of things have gone on. But and then
That means
after
the wedding's gonna go great.
And then after we
Without a
do the
hitch.
wedding, we're bringing the kids out, of course, to California to do the wedding. And after we do that, we're going up to we're having the last Kate Wolf Memorial Music Festival. We've had them for 25 years, and so we're going up there with the family. We're going to camp out for almost a week, and I'm playing like 4 sets out there up in Laytonville. So we're really excited. It's going to be
how wonderful.
Gonna be a lot of
we
fun.
only have time for, I think we're going to do one more song.
Okay, all right.
I want to do one more.
Let's do one more.
It's because he's so good. And Maya's here, stage left. And he's just been such a delight.
I always do that backwards. Stage right and left.
Stage left. She's stage left. She's to my right, stage left. All right, guys, here we are. One more delight from the darling Dayan Kai.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for
this.
joining us.
This is a song I wrote called Strong Enough, because I believe we are strong enough. That's you and me out there in the world, all of us, to stand up and do what's right and take care of one another. And that's what we need to be doing more than ever right now around the world. We've got so many different things going on in so many different parts of the world. There are so many people who need us to be unified. So let's try set some of these petty disputes aside and take care of each other and feed each other and make sure everybody's got enough water to drink and stuff. So that's what this is about.
I'm bringing you the tales and the songs, and I'll do it my whole life long. I'm strong enough to get it and spread it around, strong enough to get it and spread it around. And I'm bringing you the love and the light. I'll help you to make things right. I'm strong enough to get it and spread it around. You're strong enough to get it, so spread it around. And people living with the fear and confusion, well, there's power in the delusion. And every morning when we wake, we've all got a choice to make. We're strong enough to get it and spread it around. And you're strong enough to get it, so spread it around. 'Cause we're strong enough to get it, let's spread it around. I'm just hoping to make you smile. Hey, it'll only take a little while, 'cause you're strong enough to get it and spread it around. Strong enough we're in a delusion. And every morning when we wake, hey, we've all got a choice to make. We're strong enough to get it and spread it around, and you're strong enough to get it, so spread it around, 'cause we're strong enough to get it. Let's spread it around. We're bringing you the tales and the songs, and we'll do it our whole lives long. We're strong enough to get it and spread it around, and you're strong enough to get it and spread it around. We're bringing you the love and the light, and we'll help you to make things right. We're strong enough to get it and spread it around. You're strong enough to get it, so spread it around, 'cause we're strong enough. You're strong enough to get it and spread it around. We're strong enough. You're strong enough to get it and spread it around. We're strong enough, so spread it around, 'cause we're strong enough to get it. Let's spread it around.
Yay!
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, near and far, that was such a phenomenal show. What a
Mahalo,
pleasure to have
Trish.
you, Dan.
Thank you. What a pleasure to have you.
Oh, Gus loves you! Yay!
I got away with dogs.
You got biggest fan right here.
That's
Hi,
right.
buddy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much
Yes,
for
you-
having us.
We
and-
want an encore? We got one more?
One more?
Do you want to do one more?
I'll do one more for
Okay,
you.
you know, the guy who owns the studio wants a Hana Ho.
If
so
the
I
guy
said
who
that's
owns the
okay.
studio says, like,
okay.
yeah, we got you.
I love this. So we got our first ever Hana Ho demanded by Johnny. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, this is a gig for our lovely talents. Please Venmo Cody at CQ Audio. He's working really hard, volunteering his time as our Sonic Wizard. And then please support your Maui artist. That's at Dayan Kai. It's right there.
DayanKai.com.
DAYANKA.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, it's right there. It's
If you
real
can
easy.
spell it, you can find me.
Yes, right? I already found you. And thank you so much for sharing your fantastic original songs. What are you going to treat us with for your Hana Ho?
You know what? This is a song I wrote. It's called Social Creatures, because that's what we are. I studied anthropology, and that's where I learned that we are social creatures, which means we don't do well by ourselves. And so
We get weird.
and I tried to work a little Hawaiian in there. So
Go away, old lie. Go away, old lie. Consumer vision. Lullaby. Hold a hand, just care. Go take care of the land somewhere. Hold a hand, just care. Go take care of the land somewhere. 'Cause you can't make it on your own. We're social creatures, social creatures. We can't make it all alone. We're social creatures, social creatures. Ella, 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 Ella. Go away, old lie. Go away, old lie. Consumer vision. Go take care of the land somewhere. Hold a hand, just care. Go take care of the land somewhere. 'Cause you can't make it on your own. We're social creatures, social creatures. No, we can't make it all alone. We're social creatures, social creatures. Ella, 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 Ella. Malama aina, malama kai, malama pono, malama vai, 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 malama your mama, ela, 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 ela.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
Mahalo, you guys.
That was great, getting fancy at the end with the Cody camera work too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Dayan, you were such a fantastic guest, and
Thank you, Trish.
recently we celebrated our 50th episode. We made a big show about it. It was so fun. But on the calendar, we just celebrated 2 years actually a couple days ago. So you're kind of like our 2-year anniversary
All right.
party.
Well,
but-
I'm honored to be a part of this on any level I can, and I'm definitely going to spread the word about what you guys are up to up here. This is a really great facility and venue for us here on Maui, and everything you guys are doing here is fantastic. So thank you all so much for your contributions to our community. And you know, this is why I came home. This kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff I wanted to be a part of and see starting to move forward on our beautiful island. Because we all say Maui no ka'oi. Maui is the best. We got to make it that way. We got to keep it like that. So.
I agree. Well, thank you so much for your kind words and just your. Wow, I want to see you play more. I got to come July 8th to
Oh, please
Mulligan's
come
to
out.
see
Yeah,
you
it's
live
going to be a
and
lot of
lively.
fun. And we'll have Tempa there. And
Yeah.
Sweet Mama D is going to be guesting as
That's
well.
all our
and,
buddies,
yeah,
yes.
we're
And
gonna have some good
mahalo
time.
to everybody for tuning in. You can catch us on the YouTube or Mā'alaeRadio.com. And then also don't forget to follow us on Instagram. You can follow me, Trish Dish. You can follow Backlit Buddha Studios, Mana'o. And also follow Dayan. He's got a great social media presence. I bet that has to do with Maya maybe a little bit.
It does.
A little bit. And then
It
also your
does.
website is fantastic. It was
Thank you.
great as a journalist. It was exactly what I needed. I went there. I listened to the music. I got the info.
Thank
It was
you.
easy to browse.
We appreciate
so
that
I'm very
feedback.
impressed about that. So thank you so much for doing that. And just being a great guest. This was so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad. And thank you. I feel the same way. What a pleasure.
We're
Thank
going to have
you.
to have you back.
I'd love to
some
come
way.
back.
Maybe we'll have Jimmy.
Yeah,
we'll
maybe
throw
Jimmy
you
and
in
I can
here or
come back
something,
and
right?
do something
So in
together.
2 weeks, we're going to be back here with, that's right, the incomparable Marty Dread's going to be in the
Alright.
studio. That's going to be on June 16th, so we'll see you guys back. For now, just keep it real for the homeschool. Mahalo to my entire team. I love you guys so much, and I love Maui's music community, and I'm so blessed. I'll see you soon. Aloha.
Aloha.
We'll see you on the flip side. Aloha. Woo! Great show.
All right.
Seriously, Dan.
Thank you.
Wow.
You got chops.
You guys, wow.
Chops and pipes.
Chops and pipes and skins. Oh my. And
The
streets.
streets were rough. What can I say? They kicked my ass.